welcome to Elements of Ayurveda, Empowering Wisdom of Life. I'm your host, Colette, and in this podcast, I hope to empower you to take charge of your own health by sharing the holistic teachings of Ayurveda, the ancient healing tradition from India. We will also discuss topics like health and wellness, nutrition, yoga, fitness, meditation, breath work, and much more, as well as interviewing lots of inspiring people along the way. My humble wish is to help you to connect to your true nature, to Mother Nature, and to each other. If you like the content, be sure to subscribe to the show, and the new episodes will automatically download for you to enjoy. If you're new to Ayurveda, I recommend you listen to the first couple of episodes where I do an introduction to Ayurveda and the mind-body types. I've also set up a Facebook group for us to connect and to support each other, and I'd love for you to join me over at Elements of Ayurveda podcast group. And now, here's the show. Hello, and welcome to Elements of Ayurveda. Today is a very special episode as I'm introducing you to a service that I think is really needed. And this is because I get lots and lots of emails from listeners asking me for advice on what Ayurvedic or yoga clinics I recommend in India. And unfortunately, I'm not very helpful because I haven't been to India, not yet. But I remember when I was traveling and I wanted to go to India, and I found it very challenging to get info in a centralized place. And then I ended up getting a little bit frustrated and going to Bali instead. However, today I'm going to answer your questions because I'm happy to introduce you to Vijay Kumar Karai, who's the founder and CEO of AyurUniverse. Now, AyurUniverse is an online platform that I highly recommend if you're searching for an Ayurvedic and or yoga clinic, hospital, a spa, a school in India, in Bali, in Sri Lanka, or in Nepal. And they have an amazing, easy to navigate online platform which allows you to search, evaluate, and book tailored wellness packages. In fact, it's the only one-stop wellness platform offering thousands of healthy solutions, including yoga, Ayurveda, meditation, Indian wellness programs as well. And it's also accredited by the Indian Ministry of Tourism. Now, I've really enjoyed getting to know Vijay and his staff and can say confidently that you will be in good hands. And I also wanted to give you a heads up here to stay tuned to the end because Vijay may have a special offer for the Elements listeners. So Vijay, welcome to the show. How are you today?
Thank you, Colette, and thank you for the introduction. I'm really happy to be part of this podcast.
Well, that's great, Vijay. And like I said, I feel like it's a service that's really needed. As Westerners, sometimes when we're traveling to India, there's so many questions. And I think this website really offers people comfort and support and answers all those questions. So let's start talking about you, Vijay, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. I am basically, after having worked almost 2 decades of corporate life with Coke, Pepsi, and other, like tea and so on, other companies in India, Sri Lanka, and the US. I took a mid-career break and I studied, I did my MBA at University of Southern California, Los Angeles. And when I came back to India, I was again working for Coke when I got a chance to invest and run a Ayurvedic retreat in Mysore, which was not doing too well. And that's when I really found this whole industry and the opportunity to serve people through Ayurveda and yoga. And however, when I realized the opportunity, I decided to quit my corporate life and get into this business of being able to reach out to millions of wellness enthusiasts that are there throughout the world and bring and connect them to Ayurveda and yoga and other Indian wellness systems.
Wonderful. And what does Ayurveda mean to you, Vijay? Was Ayurveda something that you grew up with in your household? Or what impact has Ayurveda had on your life?
Actually, to be honest, I don't come from an Ayurvedic family. But this was something that I learned as I went along. My wife is far more into yoga. She has been doing yoga for a long time, and she's a certified yoga teacher. And that was my first introduction to yoga and also to Ayurveda, because she takes a lot of Ayurvedic medicine and Ayurvedic herbs. She's introduced me to them. So it all fell into place when I stumbled upon this investment opportunity at the Ayurvedic retreat, where I happened to meet hundreds of customers from all over the world. And when I used to hear them talk about the health benefits that they have received, and I was simply astonished and swept away. And I felt that why should a few hundred people know about it? Why can't thousands and millions of people should know about this phenomenal benefits that Ayurveda, yoga, meditation offers?
Absolutely. I'm right there with you, Vijay. That's why I'm doing the podcast. I want to get this information out to everybody because it's just amazing ancient wisdom that can really help empower us to take charge of our own health. So totally agree.
And also in terms of the impact it has made on life, ever since I got into this, I have completely changed. I've become far more health conscious. I started yoga. I do yoga very regularly. In fact, couple of weeks back is when I did my first 108 Surya Namaskaras. That is the sun salutation. Yeah. And because of this industry, I got to meet a lot of very learned yoga and Ayurveda specialists. I also got to travel to a number of sacred places where normally you would not go, very remote places where Ayurvedic retreats, yoga ashrams are there. And so that has made a big impact on me. And so I know that this business that I am in is an enormous task, and I've just started. But because of this Ayurveda and yoga, I seem to have built an inner strength where, in spite of so many challenges, I'm able to go along.
That resonates with me totally as well. And it was the same for me once I found Ayurveda and I could feel the effects in my own body after going through a panchakarma. And I was so passionate about getting this information out to everybody. It's like I'm on a mission. And it can be challenging at times when you're setting up a new business and you're introducing something that's relatively new in the West. There are many hurdles, but I think when we have this fire of passion within us and we believe in it so much, that really fuels us to keep going. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
So you talked a little bit about your inspiration for AyurUniverse when you went to this retreat center. What is the mission or the objective of AyurUniverse, Vijay?
So basically the mission that AyurUniverse has is to be a catalyst to be able to connect with wellness seekers to wellness providers. So you have all kinds of wellness providers in India, ranging from Ayurvedic hospitals to luxury centers to retreats to yoga schools. So people are very particular what kind of wellness holiday, if you may. So they want to be at the right place because they're investing some good amount of money, and more importantly, a lot of their time, and they're investing in their health. So our mission is to be able to match their expectations to the right wellness center, so to say.
Such a great service.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, because I remember, as I mentioned at the start of the show, I remember when I wanted to go and have a cleanse, and I was thinking about going to India, but it was so overwhelming trying to choose someplace. And in the end, I never ended up going. I went to Bali instead. But I think this site is so user-friendly, the AyurUniverse site, and that's what really impressed me, that the site is really easy to navigate, and you can really choose from many options to tailor your trip, and it also reassures you that you're in good hands. Can you explain a little bit about how the site works?
Sure. So overall on our site we have we offer more than 3,000 wellness programs of different duration, different kind of programs, and at different budgets, different destinations. So when you come to our portal, customer can go to a program and first choose what kind of a program he's looking at. So it could be a detox program, a panchakarma, a weight management program. It could be a teacher training program, a yoga retreat, or it could be something even more serious like health issues. Ayurveda and yoga have a lot of benefits for arthritis or some of the ailments like arthritis, diabetes, and so on. So the first step is to choose what you want. Then you could either, filter like the way any of the other e-commerce sites are. You can further refine that and say, hey, I want to go next to the beach, or I want to go to by destination like Rishikesh, which is the yoga capital of the world. Or you can say, I want to go to Sri Lanka. Or you can say, hey, I want to go to an authentic Ayurvedic center. And then you can further refine by saying, I want to go for a 10-day program, or by duration, or by budget. You want to say, I want to go to the ultra luxury center, or I want to go to a budget center, and so on and so forth. So you could refine, and then you could come down from 3,000 wellness programs down to about 3 or 4, and then you could choose. So that makes it so much more easier. And then we go one step further, and we can say, hey, if let's say a couple are coming, the one person can choose a program A, like say a yoga program, and the spouse or their colleague or their friend could choose another program. So we could even customize and combine based on that.
Oh my goodness, that's great.
Thank you. And we could go one step further and then say, I want to finish the program and then do, let's say, a 3-day sightseeing program. So we could combine that too. Along with your wellness program, you could also have a short sightseeing program.
Wow, that's really wonderful. It really is a one-stop shop. And the fact that you can really tailor it to your needs is fantastic. Now, for those people who are traveling, who want to go for an Ayurvedic treatment and need some specialized treatment, and they're wondering, where do I begin to choose a clinic or an Ayurvedic hospital and so on, I believe you do have an Ayurvedic doctor and wellness counselors available, right, to help them make those choices?
Absolutely. So many times people know the health issue that they have, but the difference between a conventional Western medicine versus Ayurveda is Ayurveda goes to the root cause of the problem. So because they need to do that and then treat the root cause, the duration may be a bit longer. So the program that you choose also has to be based on that. So typically we refer to our in-house Ayurvedic doctor, who they can consult, and it's for free. There's no consultation charges for that. So then, based on the health condition, the Ayurvedic doctor would recommend that you go for a particular program for a particular duration. Once he or the doctor recommends that, and once the customer agrees, then the next step would be, we have a whole team of wellness advisors and consultants who will then be able to match and help you select the right wellness center. It could be an Ayurvedic hospital or even it could be an Ayurvedic retreat. Many of them, almost all the Ayurvedic retreats in India and Sri Lanka have in-house Ayurvedic doctors, so you'll be in good hands. So we have both these facilities. So customer is in safe hands, so to say.
Yeah, that's great. And also you have this customer support throughout the trip as well.
Absolutely.
So that really makes a difference. That's a lovely comfort to know.
Yeah, that is correct. So we have a 24/7 customer support. So, which will take care of everything from the time you land. There is somebody at the airport to pick you up, take you to the wellness center, and then in case during the course of the treatment you want some special requirements, we help you find a solution to that. Or suddenly you decide to say extend your stay, we help you even in that. Or like I said before, if you want to have a sightseeing or an extended holiday, we could do that too.
That's really fantastic. I know for me, if I was going by myself, which I sometimes travel by myself, for someone to meet me at the airport, because the flights can get in at early hours of the morning sometimes, that's huge. That's really great to know that. And that would be a big bonus for me.
Yes, that is for us very important, because safety of the customers and the people who come for wellness programs through our portal is paramount to us. And they all take a long flights, it's long duration. So we want to be sure that they are not hassled at the airport. So as you rightly said, most of the flights in India unfortunately land at wee hours in the morning. So we don't want them to be, accosted by a whole bunch of taxi touts and stuff like that. So there will be one person to pick you up and take you right to the wellness retreat or Ayurvedic hospital.
That's fantastic to have that service. Now let's talk a little bit about safety, because we hear many things, and I know a lot of people are hesitant to travel in India, especially women alone. Can you speak a little bit on that, Vijay?
Sure. See, this whole perception of India not being so safe is partially to do with the media creating, and also partially due to some of the incidents that have happened.
Yeah.
So we need to be sure. So what we ensure, a couple of things. One is we actually send out a kind of a do's and don'ts as soon as you make the booking or just before you arrive. We want to be sure, say, in what kind of clothing would be appropriate, what kind of, stuff, like you don't want to go out, right? Go in the night, all right? And also, we are constantly in touch with the customers during the stay, unless, of course, we don't want to call them too many times during the program, right? So within that, we make sure. But the most important thing is, between arriving at the airport and reaching the wellness retreat. So that is an important part, and we ensure that is taken care of. Apart from that, we have other small issues like, mosquitoes. So what kind of precautions you want to take, what kind of water you should be drinking, and so on and so forth. So we advise on all these. So there is a checklist that we send to all the customers, what kind of precautions they need to take to ensure safety.
That's wonderful. I think that goes for not just India, but traveling anywhere. I know when I was traveling by myself throughout Asia, you have to be cautious, and as long as you do your research in advance and make sure that you're, wearing appropriate clothing and so on, that you're perfectly fine.
That's correct. That's correct. And also, there are, like in every country, you have all kinds of people, and and in India, so you need to be a little more careful. Especially for women. So we suggest the right kind of, the right way to take care of themselves.
Great. That's great. And, it really encourages me now to book my trip to India, which I've been thinking about for a long, long time and still haven't got around to it. But I really like that you get the taxi from the airport to the facility. That would be very comforting to me to know that there's somebody there if I'm traveling by myself. So I'm ready to book my Indian experience through AyurUniverse.
You must come to India. It's a phenomenally great country.
I know. It's been on my list. I will. I'm going to make it there. So can you tell me, just say for example, I'm going to book my Indian adventure on your platform, what is the user experience? So you talked about, we can go through and refine the search as much as we want. You have clinics and spas and yoga schools and hospitals and so on. And there's various types of packages and we can customize it. And if we're going to couple, each person can have a different experience. So I would go onto the platform, make my choices, and then what happens from there? Like what's the turnaround time and so on?
Yeah, so apart from being able to just being able to surf in case there are doubts, there are other ways to be able to choose. There is an online chat. We have no chat bots. We have real people.
I like that.
So we have real people whom we train and make them travel to various wellness retreats, so they have real first-hand information.
That's fantastic that you do that.
Yes, so you can chat with them, or if you're not you don't like to chat, we have a toll-free number. So people, you just have to fill up your number. It will automatically trigger a call. It's completely free, and you can speak to the wellness consultant. So that's one way of doing it. Or you can just fill up a form. So once you do that, there is a constant interaction. And some of them take as much as 5, 10, 15 interactions, or even 20 interactions before they finally decide.
Yeah.
And once they decide, you will. Every single wellness program has a wellness page, and you can choose the arrival date and the based on the budget and so on and so forth. And then you can book. Once the book, typically around the same time, we also check the availability. Once it's available. Once you book, we check the availability, double check the availability, and then we confirm the booking, and that leads to you to a payment page where we typically take a 50% advance for the program, and the other 50% you pay to the center. And we take this advance and we pay the center, the wellness retreat or Ayurvedic hospital. We pay them, and your room is blocked. And the balance 50% you pay at the time of check-in.
Wonderful. And I love that you said that your customer service reps go to some of these retreats and actually experience it for themselves so they know what they're talking about. And that's what I would like to talk about next is how do you choose the facilities that you have on your platform, and what's the process that you follow to ensure that they meet your standards and so on?
Yeah. So we have literally thousands of wellness centers, Ayurvedic centers, hospitals, retreats, and so on. So the couple of we choose them based on a couple of criteria. One being that they should be all over the place. For example, you want to have in destinations where people typically go and like to go. So once we decide the destination, then we decide what are the good centers there. And then we go personally and visit. Every Ayurvedic center is checked by somebody in the team. More than 50% is actually personally checked by me.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's a lot of travel, but it's worth it, and I really enjoy doing that.
Oh, that's great.
So I can tell you firsthand, when I go to a center, I check them out. See, if it is a budget center, I don't expect them to be 5-star, right?
Yes, of course.
But still, I would check on the safety, the cleanliness and hygiene in terms of the rooms, the bathrooms, the water condition, and so on, drinking water conditions. And then most importantly, if it's a yoga teacher, I check if a person, what's the track record of the yoga teacher, where is he from, where has he been, learned his yoga. And then if it's an Ayurvedic clinic, I would like to talk to the Ayurvedic doctor, what has been their track record, what kind of customers they normally treat, So some of the Ayurvedic hospitals, the interesting part is, so they specialize in certain health issues. It can be as complex as even treating bipolar issues to autism, of course. So what we do say is that we don't guarantee or don't expect a cure, but definitely people see some health benefits. So we check on various criteria. What is their track record? We also check on how they have been certified. So Indian government also certifies some of them, whether for example, for Ayurvedic centers in South India, in a state called Kerala, they give them green leaf certification, silver leaf, and so on and so forth. So we check the certificate, we check the certificates, and then so we know that this belongs to certain standards. Then we also check in particularly where the treatments are taken. Are they neat and clean? Are they hygienic? And of course, the rooms, we ensure that the rooms are, what they show in the pictures.
Yes.
Some of them, they show some beautiful pictures on the website, and the reality is something completely different. Some of them claim that they have swimming pools, but they don't have. Some of them say that we have, a meditation hall, and they typically do have a makeshift kind of an arrangement on the terrace or something like that. So we check on all of that to ensure that, what is offered is what you get.
That's fantastic. Again, that means a lot to have a service where you know that all the facilities that you can choose from, you do not have to worry about if the photographs are legitimate or, if they're going to be clean when you arrive, because that's the risk you take when you book it sometimes on different sites. You're not 100% sure if you can, really trust the reviews and trust what they say. So I think just having that reassurance that you and your staff personally check all these facilities is amazing.
Sure. And we also look at the various social media, what has been the customer feedback. But over and above that, I think the difference is that somebody has checked it. And once you check, we take a whole bunch of pictures and we bring it back. So every time any particular person goes from the company to a particular Ayurveda clinic or a yoga school or yoga retreat, we take a bunch of pictures and then we explain to the rest of the team. So everybody's, aligned to what's being offered. And further, we have a value system within our company. The most important value is integrity. So we always tell them not to try to oversell and not try to paint a rosy picture when there is none.
That is so great that you have that integrity established in your company. And, I really enjoy getting to know you and your coworkers. And, it's been really, from the start, I felt that the company just has a special energy about it. And also, I understand that you have a socially responsible side to the company as well. And you have great plans for AyurUniverse and making sure that you're socially responsible. Can you tell us a little bit about that, Vijay, also?
So we are a relatively new company. We are about 2 years old. But I am very committed personally for social responsibility. So besides work, I help my son run a not-for-profit organization called Thread India. We go and reach out to people, the underprivileged children, who don't know what are the career options. So many of them drop off during school and they don't pursue beyond 8th grade or 9th grade. So we help them find their dream career.
Wow.
Apart from that is my wife. Even though she is a trained yoga teacher, she found her passion in animal welfare, and we basically she goes and adopts and rescues animals, which are especially stray dogs and cats out in the street. Especially those who have met with some accident, and we go and take them to the vet, have them treated, and find a home for these animals. And over and above that, what our plans going forward are in two major areas. I believe that a lot of retirement homes and old age homes that we have, where people are there, but they don't necessarily follow wellness. So we have simple yoga and Ayurveda. We team up with most of our wellness partners who can come and spend a couple of hours every day to have a simple, say, a pranayam, which is a breathing exercise, or some of the yoga practices. So that is one side of it. The other side is within the wellness centers. We are categorizing the centers who are eco-friendly, who save on water, who offer organic food, and we are encouraging more and more of our wellness partners to be eco-friendly.
Oh, that's fantastic. And that gives them even more of an incentive to make those efforts.
Yeah, it is, I think, important from being responsible citizens in this world.
That's just fantastic. I love that you have those socially responsible arms of the business. And we talk about that a lot on the show, is like be conscious of where we spend our money, and spending with companies who want to improve the world and are conscious companies. And the fact that you have this socially responsible division really means a lot. I love all that. That's fantastic. And going back to your, in the retirement homes, I think that's where Ayurveda can really have such a huge positive impact as you go into the Vata stage of life, and there's a lot of drying and a lot of excessive Vata in the body, that these nourishing and rejuvenating Ayurvedic therapies and mindfulness techniques can really be helpful at that stage of life. So I love that you're introducing that into the retirement homes. I think that's fantastic. Plus, we need to respect our elders. That's another little soapbox I have. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, and not just hide them away, that they have the wisdom that we need to hear from. So all this ancient wisdom, just like with Ayurveda, is here to help us as we navigate through this world, and we try, help the planet and create a oneness in the world. I think the elders and this ancient wisdom of Ayurveda can really help us. So fantastic. Now, I also want to ask you about, we talked about the user experience on the platform, and also you mentioned that if couples go, or solo women or men traveling alone, how about families or groups? Do you cater for those as well?
Sure, we do. So we have many centers which are children friendly. Some of them actually have programs for children.
Oh,
besides,
great.
Like trekking, or nearby there are other facilities. Like in Bangalore, we have like horse riding, trekking, and so on and so forth. So families are welcome, but not for all the centers. So we have, which we are shortly introducing as one of the ways you can refine your search and say you want to go to a family-friendly Ayurvedic retreat or a yoga retreat, and you will have a smaller section where one can choose from.
That's great. That's great to know. And, because if a family wants to go and have some treatment and they're traveling during the school holiday times, it's how do we entertain the children, make sure it's a holiday for them as well.
Yeah, I must add here, some of the yoga retreats in particular, they have a special class for children too. So, introduce children to yoga at a small age, so they are conscious of fitness and importance of breath techniques and breath work at a very young age.
That's wonderful. That sounds great. Wonderful.
Yeah, apart from that, they can have fun too. You have all sorts of games that you could do. You can watch TV. Some of them have a separate, room for kids where they can watch some TV show and so on and so forth.
Okay, wonderful. And that's all indicated on your platform as to what facilities are family friendly.
Absolutely.
Great.
So, but as a filter, it's going to come up shortly. But if you go to a site, or you can chat up with our wellness advisors, they can guide them to family-friendly centers. Yeah.
Fantastic, fantastic. So if people are interested, Vijay, and they want to hear about other people's experiences with your company and with the facilities, where can they read like reviews or testimonials to hear from other travelers?
Sure. So we are on almost all social media like Facebook and Twitter, Instagram, and so on and so forth. But you can see most of our reviews on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel where we have a lot of customer testimonials of people how they lost weight or they have got some health benefits or even other small issues. We understand that we are sitting in India, some of them, and some of the wellness programs are quite expensive. So making payments, so people have experienced how they made payment. They were a little worried, but they all found it to be very safe and secure. So you have all the testimonials on our YouTube channel, AyurUniverse.com.
That's great. Yeah, and I think it's always nice. I always like to check out reviews and testimonials whenever I'm making a purchase online. I think it's always great, but it's been certainly great chatting with you today and hearing about your process and hearing how you really take care of the clients from the start to the end of their trip. So where can the listeners go, Vijay, to learn more about AyurUniverse and, start planning their next adventure? And also, could you tell us a little bit about the special bonus you're going to give to the Elements listeners today?
Sure. So I guess people need to just visit our website, www.ayuruniverse.com. They can look it up website. They can also check us out on our on Facebook or on Twitter, Instagram. But if you want to finally book choose a wellness program, you'll have to come back to our website, AyurUniverse.com. Once you are there, please go through the portal, serve any help that you want. There are a whole team of wellness advisors, Ayurvedic doctors out there to help you find and refine your search and to be sure that you're getting what you want. We have almost had 99.5%, customer satisfaction. And even for those 0.5 people, we have found an alternative or we find a solution to their, their unhappiness, or we found something else for them. So, for listening to this and for Elements listeners, we have a special bonus. It is a surprise bonus. And please visit our website, and when you make the purchase, you have a coupon code. Please type out Elements, and you will have a surprise discount. And this discount is over and above the regular discounts and regular deals that we have, which comes time to time. Depending on the season or the month of the year. So if you come during the off season, you get a much higher, better deal. But over and above all these deals, Element listeners and Element listeners will be able to get an extra discount. But that discount you'll find out only when you log in and type out Elements.
I love it. A little surprise. So that's wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Vijay. That's amazing to offer that discount to the Elements listeners. And to any of you interested, I will put the links in the show notes. You'll also find on my website to AyurUniverse.com. That's AyurUniverse.com. But also just click on the link in the show notes or come over to my website and I will get you over there. Vijay, thank you so much for coming on the show today. And I'm so glad that you kept going through all those challenges of setting up a business, because this service is really needed.
Thank you so much, Colette, be able to help us in reaching out to wellness enthusiasts throughout the world. It is a pleasure to talking to you, pleasure to talking to all your listeners. And it is actually, we have challenges, but I really enjoy this. There's so much passion here, and every time I listen to a customer review, a feedback, and when they say that, I'm so happy I did this, it gives me immense pleasure. And I look forward to more and more people getting benefits, and I feel I've done something in my life for this.
That's beautiful. And I wish you all the very best.
Thank you, Colette. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you, Vijay. Take good care of yourself and best wishes to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All the
you
best.
Too.
Thank you. So there you go. I hope that answers the questions that some of you had about traveling to India or seeking treatment or maybe a yoga school in India. And of course, Vijay and his team not only offer facilities in India, but also Sri Lanka, Nepal, and Bali. So I really recommend that you check out AyurUniverse.com. The link is also in my show notes, and you can also find it on my website, Elements Healing and Wellbeing.com. Also on my website, you'll find my services. I have that free discovery call that runs until July 19th, 2019. I also offer online consultations and cleanses and daily habits courses. So check all that out. And don't forget, I have my Ayurveda and Yoga Retreat coming up right here in the south of France in Villefranche-sur-Mer, which is just a few miles outside Nice, France, which has an international airport, and that retreat happens October 11th to the 13th. So I hope that you can come join me here in the south of France, and we can spend a weekend of connecting and healing and lots of education and enjoying this beautiful village on the Mediterranean. Thank you for tuning in. Take good care of yourself, be well, and ciao for now.